Hello and welcome to Focus IR. I am John Human and I'm delighted to be joined once again by Dr. Vincent Chian, who's Head of Business Development at Fairview International. How are you doing, Vincent?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. And yeah, you're my first of the year, so good to be back and very nice that it's you. So we're going to be talking about what's coming up for Fairview in 2025. But as a sort of prelude to that, you delivered some fantastic results at the beginning of December, which showed increases in student numbers, increasing gross profitability, and I guess they provide a real foundation for what you're planning in the year ahead. And I guess it is all about student numbers. Let's talk about student enrolment growth. In 2024, or certainly in the period covered by those results, numbers are up 12%, which is a fantastic achievement. Tell us about how you got that, how you delivered that, and how that sort of provides that foundation, and how you accelerate that from here.
Absolutely. So in 2024, one of our biggest wins was really empowering our agent network with deeper insights into how we work, what we feel strongly about our educational philosophy. And by making sure our partners understand exactly what makes us special, like our consistency in academic excellence, accessibility, and holistic curriculum, they were able to share our story to, of course, our target market a lot better. We backed this up with targeted outreach in key overseas regions where we knew that there was a rising demand for quality English medium education. And building on that momentum, we are planning to take things a step further in 25 by putting in more money into strategic marketing campaigns and face-to-face engagement with international families, doing open houses, going to local fairs abroad, and refining how we're going to collaborate with our agents, because we really recognize that they're a powerful channel for us. We're also putting in a lot more resources into digital marketing so that we can reach students and parents who typically don't encounter our brand. And with all of this, we expect to maintain or even outdo our recent enrollment growth.
Yeah, and it's, as I say, it's been very, very strong, and there's a lot to go after. As I understand it, you're at a third of your maximum capacity, so a lot of room for growth in there as well.
Absolutely, there's still a lot of ways for us to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Those numbers, those student enrolment numbers, delivered some really, really good financial numbers. The gross profit was up almost a third to the best part of 2.5 million. PBT was up a little bit more slowly, but still up. What's behind this really strong financial performance, and where do you go from here?
Well, seeing that 32% jump in GP was a really big milestone for us last year, and a lot of it came from welcoming more international students. When foreign students choose Fairview, they bring higher tuition fees, which, combined with operational efficiencies across our campuses, it really helped our overall margins. And we've been able to standardize certain academic resources and centralize administrative tasks to really lower our costs. And on the other hand, our profit before tax, it went up by 4%, which may seem modest by comparison, but that was actually planned. We chose to reinvest quite a bit of revenue back into high-impact areas like marketing campaigns in emerging markets and improvements to campus infrastructure and technology, particularly. And these are intentional, forward-looking moves that we put down to protect our competitive edge and position us for sustained progress.
Yeah, really investing for the long term, and as you say, as that student enrolment continues to grow, the scalability, the leverage from those operational investments really starts to shine through. Hey, tell us how that scalability is going to play out in 2025.
Well, we really believe our ability to grow profitably. It depends on how well we optimize our internal processes. Our priority in 25 actually is to enhance things like teacher mentorship programs, implement standardized teaching tools, and then centralize back office operations so that we can manage larger enrollments without inflating our overheads. By creating a consistent framework, whether that's lesson planning, resource sharing, or student assessment procedures, we're able to keep quality high as we accept new enrollments without inflating our fixed overheads. And this scalable model means that every time we welcome an additional student, we have a lower marginal cost. And the surplus revenue that results from that will be channeled back into improving the programs, training faculty, and refining the overall learning environment. In other words, rather than let growth just go straight to the bottom line, we want to reinvest a lot to remain at the cutting edge, making sure that we offer the same standard of excellence that's made Fairview the school of choice for so many families over the last 40 plus years.
Yeah, indeed. So I guess this is all about the sort of investment in the infrastructure. Tell us about investment in the curriculum and also the extracurriculum offerings that you're planning. What are you going to do to enhance that educational and indeed pastoral experience for your students in 2025?
Well, that's one of my favorite areas. As you know, I used to work in the pastoral mental health profession back when I was a doctor in the UK. Well, our focus in 25 really has a two-pronged approach. The first part is strengthening the IB curriculum while integrating AI tools. Now, this is a big thing that's happening in our field that create more personalized learning experiences. So, for example, we're exploring a lot of adaptive learning platforms that help you to learn English and Mandarin using AI-based applications. These adjust instantly to a student's proficiency level, all the while giving teachers real-time data so that they can offer targeted support where it's needed the most. And by automating routine tasks like grading quizzes and instant assessments, we free our educators to engage more with our students. Now, on the extracurricular side, we recognize that families expect more than academic success. I think in this day and age where there's so much grade inflation and there's so many people coming in with another 10 A's from the IGCSEs, they're looking for more. Everybody's looking for more, universities, employers, and they're looking for proof of leadership, resilience, a strong moral grounding. And that's why we've rolled our pastoral efforts into a single framework recently called RISE, which contains 4 programs that we finally put together designed to develop well-rounded individuals who will stand out in university applications and the job market. So the 4 are, well, 1, Anchor. And Anchor centers on the well-being and counseling, creating an emotionally secure school environment that fosters consistent performance and long-term trust. Ascend is our leadership program, and based around the 7 habits of successful teens and successful people methodology, it builds it equips students with qualities that universities and employers often identify as highly desirable. Aspire is our career development program based off Jim Collins' hedgehog principle. Things like what can I do best, and what the world really needs. We make sure that our students align their innate strengths with areas that have genuine market demand. And finally, Beyond. Beyond is our final bit, which is a mixture of expeditions, excursions, co-curricular activities, and learning camps that broaden horizons beyond the classroom, shaping them into adaptive and globally minded or internationally minded citizens. Now, what we feel is by combining these elements, we address what universities and future employers really look for. We believe that parents will increasingly value a school that offers this kind of intentional, purposeful, and structured cultivation of essential soft skills, positioning their kids and our institution for sustainable success rather than short-lived examination-based accolades.
Yeah, but it feels like something that's very much missing from many areas of the education system worldwide. I mean, this is at the cutting edge, I would argue, of educational delivery. And what amazes me is that you can do this while staying so competitive on the fees. I mean, and staying profitable at the same time. It's extraordinary.
Thank you. Well, like we've shared, it's really about making sure that the teaching resources, the centralization of activities, the shared resources, keeping those fixed costs shared and low so that our marginal cost doesn't increase too much. And then, of course, driving that expansion so that we have a larger base to work off.
Yeah, indeed. Expansion, that was going to be my next question. This model rolled out could do wonders for the world's pupils. Tell us about your plans to expand beyond your current locations in Malaysia, predominantly Malaysia, but also in the UK. What markets are you considering, and what's your thinking behind the decisions that you're currently mulling over in terms of expansion?
Absolutely. So we are looking at the UK. Examining what's available there, but we're also absolutely exploring options to extend our footprint beyond Malaysia, setting sights on really promising regions like Indonesia, Vietnam, and Hong Kong. Now, these areas have proven strong economic growth and a clear rising demand for top-notch international education. And depending on the market, we'll be either looking at taking over existing institutions that share our vision for a good, holistic education that's accessible to the common man, or we'll consider starting from scratch if it makes more strategic sense, really. And to make sure that we're moving forward responsibly, of course, we're going to study each location's regulatory environment, the ease of setting up foreign-owned schools, and whether we can partner with reputable local stakeholders, because every location has a lot of unique nuances. Looking at demographic trends, we'll be looking at whether there's a sustainable market for the kind of IB education we provide. IB is not very well known in many regions still. But it's not about quick expansion for the sake of numbers. It's about making sure that any new school upholds our standards and stays viable over the long haul. We have to balance ambition with careful evaluation. And only by doing that can we continue growing Fairview's global presence in a way that genuinely benefits our students, our families, and our communities, and of course, our investors.
And Vincent, I understand that the quality of the education experience that you offer is being recognised not just by the parents who seem to be signing up in droves, but also some of the bodies that administer the IB scheme.
Absolutely. We are super excited. Recently, ibschools.com, a website online that actually keeps track of all of the scores of the IB programs, all of the IB schools around the world, has given us our cert for this year, declaring that for the 5th year in a row, we are a top 100 IB school in the world. Now, for context, a top 100 IB school in the world means that we're in the top 3% of schools in the world. And on top of that, we have been the top IB school in Malaysia for the last 4 consecutive years. And a lot of this we really attribute to focusing on what really matters. Teaching right, developing the right environment for children to thrive, and then having faith in them along the way.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of work is going into this, a lot of, as you say, very, very considered plans. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing about them as the year progresses. Vincent, it's been a pleasure talking to you, as always.